Hello, and welcome to the first episode of What's It All About. I'm Neo, and today I am joined by my two co-hosts, Booflah
G'day.
and Guy.
What he said.
So this episode's basically going to be an introduction episode, where we're going to introduce who we are and what the podcast's actually about. We're also going to discuss the actual struggles of starting a podcast, because funnily enough, it's not easy. So I'm going to start things out. I'm going to talk about myself for a bit because everyone knows that I love to do that. All right. I am the extrovert of the group. I have a job, unlike these other two, and I sort shit out for the podcast because I somehow am bothered to do this.
I'm
That is
sorry,
true.
who suggested we revive this idea? I was
Who was the one
who
who
was like, hey
suggested
guys,
we make the
maybe we should
podcast?
do this.
Yeah, I was like, hey
Both.
guys, we both did because it was our fucking inside joke. We'll get to that in a second. All right, cool. Chaos
I'm
has
also
already
here.
erupted.
I'm also
Yes,
here.
that's true.
Like, I just listened in whenever they had discussions about a podcast and thought to myself, yeah, that sounds fun. And then went back to scrolling through Reddit.
Yeah, you just said yes when we messaged you in the group chat.
Yeah, that's literally true. I'm the yes
Yeah,
man.
fair enough. Booflah, you want to go through who you are?
Not really, honestly.
Oh, well, that's a great
Again,
start.
I'm just
Cool.
the one who revived this podcast.
Yes, fair enough.
Alright,
That's
does that leave me
about the
then?
extent of it. Actually, no, we're gonna go and ask the bot. Hey, Craig, why are you here? Awesome. All right, Guy, you want to take you want to take from that? You want to pick up from that, there, Guy?
All right. Well, hello, I'm Guy, Guy25 if you want to be bothered, because I'm not. And my role in this whole podcast thing was being woken up whenever they started messaging on the group chat until I decided to turn off notifications for the group chat. And
How dare you? You have notifications turned off?
well, not for this group chat, at least not anymore. But like a lot of group chats, I would just turn it off because even Discord, because I started getting freaking phantom vibration syndrome for the email message for some reason, like my email ringtone. That didn't make sense.
Fair enough.
And then I just put my phone on sleep mode.
You know what?
So it would
Fair
vibrate instead of make a noise, which would contribute to phantom vibration syndrome.
Exactly. Truly a genius at work. Yep, and Guy's the rich guy as well.
Yeah, that was the sound of me throwing my phone. So
That's the censor out of the name.
Yep. Oh well. Our editor's gonna have lots of fun with this.
Yeah.
All right.
Whose name is blank and whose address is blank.
Social security number
address is what? We just
all right.
doxed our
Their
editor.
firstborn son's name is.
We won't let ourselves be known, but our editor, boy, he is in for. They are in for something.
A is in for.
There we go. They is does in
Do you
the
have
ad.
an editor at this point?
I
You
think I
know who
got
it
someone.
is?
Yeah, I think Taco's gonna do it.
Yeah,
We can
we
call him
have
Taco.
it, but like I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if we were 100% sure on who
Did
it
we
was
see
going to be.
Taco's assessment for English? Do we have to say
That is an artwork. I think we're in good hands.
Like if that, I would trust.
Completely missed it, you know?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'll just like murder him if he messes it up. It's fine.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
I think this is part of the struggles of making a podcast. Not only just assembling this, but then getting the intro not right, but acceptable. Literally, first thing that happens, Booflah, I can do it. I swear.
All right, prove it.
Booflah just immediately makes
Say
a
my name.
comment on. Just say
Yes.
Booflah
Yes.
immediately makes a comment on how Craig is so creepy, even though we made that comment 4 minutes ago.
Alright, to be fair, I would if we were starting right then, giving it a sec.
Craig?
So
It's
like,
fine. We'll just
We
cut
have to censor
audio.
Craig's name.
we'll edit it in post.
Do we have to censor Craig's
We need
name?
to protect Craig's privacy. He's the new guy.
Yeah,
Sure
he's
that.
actually. We'll call him Grizzly Bear now.
Grizzly.
Because
why does
that's
he
not
look-
complex at all.
Why does he look like that? I don't understand.
So do
I don't
we
know,
want
but
to
he's
talk
beautiful.
about what this entire podcast is, considering that's the topic?
Well,
for
it's
today?
not
yeah,
this,
I mean,
but
I
not on
guess.
Discord.
Yeah, so basically imagine we're sitting there, having our conversations, probably doing a race on the crew too, because that's probably how this started.
It
And we just
is, that
stumble
is how it started.
Yeah, we just stumbled on one hell of a conversation, something like, oh, I don't know, uh, cancel culture, why train drivers is just the best job ever,
I remember
It was
stuff
that.
about
like
like
that.
something about Guy being like the best Trevor or something,
That's
and we
very
even came
true.
up with some stupid nickname.
Yes,
Yeah,
Lickety
exactly.
split.
I was the one with the
Yes,
It was
nicknames.
lickety split.
that's right.
Yeah,
Far out.
remember that.
God, that takes us back. Anyway, that was 9 months
That was
ago.
takes
It
back
takes
full
us
of
back
PTSD.
It
9 months.
takes, yes, it takes us back a full 9 months because we made this Discord server in March. It is now December, and we finally got to it because we had a lot of troubles with this. But basically, the whole
Make
reason
the
we're doing
Discord
this
server.
was because we're having that great conversation, and we go, you know what this would make? A great
A great
podcast.
podcast.
Exactly. And we were going to name the podcast that, but someone's taken that. Anyway,
That's a separate struggle. We'll get to that later.
We'll get to
yes.
the naming section, for
Um,
fuck's sake.
so the name will come later. That was a whole other situation. We had originally, funnily enough, we had 4 people that wanted to do this, not just Craig, our amazing man here. We had
Which
4
says,
of
yeah,
us.
thanks.
Yeah, it scares us all. Yeah, we had 4 of us who wanted to do this, and it was going to be pretty good because we had like this variation of people. And then finally, about 2 months after making the server, we go, you know what? We should probably record an episode. So we all hop onto the Discord. We're sitting there for about 20 minutes, and our 4th person never showed up. After that, we go, well, that's fine. We'll just do it later, and then left it for 7 months. So that was
Ironically,
fun.
use this for watching Pop rather than doing a
That is true.
podcast.
That is
9
very
months.
true. We did, yeah,
It is, in
and then
fact,
we
what we
didn't.
used
We
Cowboy
watched about
Bebop.
3 episodes of Cowboy Bebop anyway.
I finished all
Yeah.
Love's War. At least the first season.
Fair enough. Yeah, so we had troubles with that. We've had plenty of struggles with this because of motivation as well.
I mean, keep in mind, we also had lives. I know this is hard to believe, but we
Yes,
had.
that is
You guys
very.
might have.
There was this weird thing that happened. I'm not sure you guys heard of it. It was called like COVID.
Oh, yes. It's like it was like this like after effect of VidCon, wasn't it?
Bruh.
Like, man, VidCon was just so bad.
VidCon really set me, man. Yeah, they got a virus at
Glitch
VidCon when they were
ruined.
presenting it. Yeah, and it just took over the world, man. So yeah, we had
So that
COVIDCon.
combined with like
That took over the world. I have a job. So that means I'm working a lot because I want money, unlike who just naturally has it. I've
Again,
just said your
name.
name again. Sorry.
Don't have
There's a bit of
or privacy apparently.
No privacy, no
The problem
privacy.
with censorship is.
Mm. Yeah,
So Neo
and
used to
we're
have a
also
relationship. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about all the used to
Let's
have
not
a
do that.
relationship.
That's a whole other like series, man. I could make a podcast just on that.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, so we all had like lives and lack of motivation, and our 4th person never showed up. So we kind of just let this sit there for 7 months. And then about 2-3 weeks ago, yeah, we just kind of came back to it. I think we were in the middle of a conversation, and we just went, you know what this would make? Again, because we always say that. And then we actually realized we never actually.
died. That
That
joke
joke
never
never
died
died.
down. We
keep
continuously
making the joke, but
made us
it
do that at some point.
Yeah, but the
it went from a
podcast
joke
itself.
to let's do it to a joke, and then we're back to let's do it. See, we're here.
Yeah, and we're actually doing it. We're actually recording finally. That's its whole other problem as well. But yeah, about 3 weeks ago, I think it was, we actually finally decided to do it. We planned out we're going to do this during the holidays, so you're about to get 6 weeks of podcasts. So have fun with
If
that.
we decide to keep doing it.
Yeah, and I am free because I think I go away. Once again, we're busy people, very busy lives. You know
We're
us.
very busy.
Yes,
No, they
very,
don't.
very busy people.
They do not know us.
Well, they will soon. I'm gonna
They'll
dox
know
all
me.
of you.
They'll know me if Neo keeps forgetting my bloody name.
I apologize.
Like I can see someone outside my house right now. It may be a coincidence.
Yes. Well, after all, this is a live recording, right? This is
What the hell?
straight
That guy's got a What's It All About show. We have merch.
Yeah. Thank you, Spyfall, for the 20 bits.
Wait.
Yeah, the logo real quick, because that's like canonically
Oh.
before this.
Oh yeah, there was a
Like,
there's
logo
the
happened
logo.
before this.
Logo, very simple story. So, actually, I could make this way less of a simple story. Booflah and I, whenever we are left alone in a voice chat, whenever Booflah
The
and I are
brain
left alone in
cells
a voice chat, just
decrease.
gone. It's crazy. We're two pretty
So-
smart people, but no, not
Speak
anymore.
for yourself.
Yeah, shut up. So we spent about, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes sitting on a rock in Red Dead Redemption 2. We took photos of my horse, because as you do. And then after that, we decided to go and explore the upper part of the map. Now, everyone knows the
And I
one
was
thing
like,
that
hey, there's a...
anyone who's played Red Dead Redemption 2 knows, the top of the map, there's about two things there. There's the snow, and there's that big-ass waterfall. We went to the waterfall. We spent about half an hour jumping off of it, as you do. And
we just rode up and we're like, hey, that's a cool waterfall. And I'm like, hey, you want to jump off?
yeah, pretty much. And then we kept doing it.
Eventually,
yeah, exactly. Eventually, we started taking photos of it because we found it really funny. We were sending it as just like a full-size picture to Guy and our other friend, and there was just kind of really
Hey, you got
funny
the
to
name.
us. Eventually, we zoomed in on it because we thought, hey, that's even funnier, and it's just this now like 64-bit little photo of Booflah just jumping off of a waterfall. And
What's
we
it,
find that
8-bit, but sure.
it's 8-bit probably, yeah. And we found that incredibly funny. So that became the logo because we're lazy as shit.
I mean, look
Yeah.
at our
But it's
profile
funny.
page. We have a murder bunny, freaking Tumblr art, and again, what is it? What is it
It's
again?
Mithrix holding a ukulele.
Mithrix holding a
Obviously.
ukulele. I'm sorry, it looks
Also,
like a shark.
my art was given to me by someone on Twitter before I stopped using Twitter. So you use Twitter to this day. You both use Reddit.
Yeah, but shut up.
You know what?
Plus,
Fair
I'm
enough.
not active on either of them.
My parents found out I have Instagram without letting them know.
Yeah, you kind of just got it because I just was like, hey,
I
get
just got
Instagram.
it,
And
from
you just
breaking
caved.
down after.
You just
By the way,
caved.
do we have to make socials for this?
Yeah, I'm gonna make those, don't worry.
Okay, cool. You're going to do about everything.
Yeah, I'll be our marketing manager. It's fine.
You
This
can
is
be marketing.
definitely supposed to be included in the podcast.
Am I
As you can see, this
finance?
is very scuffed.
It's funny this way.
Yeah, it's hilarious, I'm sure.
As long as we acknowledge it's scuffed, but don't take effort to make it more scuffed than it is, it has to be natural.
Fair
Called
enough.
meta humor. Us being
Yes,
aware of how unfunny we are makes it funny.
exactly.
We can
We are
relate to
not
the
funny
millennials
people.
by being self-deprecating.
Exactly.
Pardon
All
me.
the
Bro,
millennials
we're not
listening
even
to this.
millennials.
Yeah, we're Gen
No.
Z actually. Everyone's gonna be listening to this on their texty phones, so
But we're
That
like
was-
on the better half of Gen Z, which is closer to not whatever the hell the like youth of the nation is.
But the youth
youth
these
age.
days with their Fortnites and their
And they
V-Bucks.
afterlife.
And they goddamn Tic Tacs.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Anyway.
so yes, podcast as we were. Another struggle with this was coming up with a name because originally we were like, oh, we'll name this a great podcast because that's the
I'll get
source
the
of the
list.
inside joke. There was
the
a list. I think the list I have it because it's an MS Paint document.
See,
but we also sent it a bunch in a group chat. See, we really wanted it to be a great podcast because we thought, oh, that's a great inside joke. That's taken, unfortunately.
then
So
one
we had
day
to
I'm
come up with something else.
just like, wait, is that taken? Yep. So then
Yeah.
spur like 50 of debating the name of the podcast.
Yeah. Eventually, it just ended in my mum just being like, hey, name it this. After like 2 seconds of thinking, we were like, yeah, that works. But oh boy, we went through a lot of taken names. We had things like Carnage and Conversation.
Craig, this is your first day on the fucking job.
We're back because Craig
It's all our
decided
first
to leave. Yes,
day
it's
on
all
the
of it. No, we've been here 9 months, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but this is the first day we're actually thinking.
That's,
This-
I made the
this part-
Discord.
This is the
made-
first part.
Just so
Exactly.
hard.
And it wasn't even like immediately after like the first idea of the podcast came. It was like a while after we first mentioned it. All right, you know what? Let's do it. Makes Discord. Well, that's enough steps for today.
You know what? This is nearly a 12-month project. Idea,
You know what?
concept.
Fair enough.
This is the first time we got to the recording section, and
this is and
Craig,
fucking
you
Craig.
again.
Far
God
out.
damn it, Craig.
Hurry.
God damn it. We're gonna murder Craig.
You interrupted
Anyway.
my pondering the orb joke.
Yes, how dare he? Yeah, so we went through a lot of names.
Entropy Exchange, that was a good one.
God damn it.
I like
Well-
Boofla's one. Entropy Exchange.
You literally
Yeah.
said it wrong. You said Booflah.
I said Boofla.
Booflah.
You're a Boofla.
Worcestershire sauce.
Yes, exactly. Worcestershire.
That's
Yeah,
topic
it's
for
just-
another day.
That's a whole 40 minutes of another podcast.
Worcestershire sauce is a topic.
Anyway,
Yes.
so
Yes,
we wanted
we
a great podcast, the whole joke.
didn't
But
work.
then we were like,
Next
hey,
name.
this is taken. So we went through a bunch of different names using alliteration, chaos, discussion, all that crap.
We settled on a really good name that I thought we really liked was a podcast. That one podcast, and then it would be ... and when we should go through and name every podcast about the main topic of conversation. That one podcast about fishing, something like that. I thought that was pretty cool. It's taken, obviously. We found a way around that. You'll see that when the episode released that you've clicked on. So I don't know why I'm saying any of that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Why would I even
So
click
wait,
on
is this just going to be past that one podcast about podcasts?
that one podcast?
yeah,
about
probably.
podcast?
That
Yeah,
one
I'm cool with
podcast where it all starts. You know, something like that.
Podcast and all podcasts.
Yes. Anyway, we then continue talking. Okay, that's fine. We got into a Discord server because we thought, that'd be better to discuss. We have a beautiful MS Paint 3D mob sitting there. Absolute piece of art right there. Before eventually we're sitting there dead because we can't think of anything and it's 11:30 at night. My mum
And
comes
someone
downstairs,
decides
grabs a
to
glass
stop.
of water, and I just ask her and she comes up with, what's it all about? And I was like, you know what, that's a good name. I tell them, we settled on it. That was literally
I think
it.
you're ignoring a bunch of the other stuff that happened where we're like, okay, so how
What's our
long will this
target
podcast?
audience?
Yeah.
What is our target? We
Target
skimmed through all
market.
that. He ended up playing Snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
Start playing Google
they
Snake.
were watching. It was great fun. Anyway.
I just wanted to sleep, man.
Sleep. I don't need sleep. I need Snake.
It's for the week.
Exactly.
Sleep is for the week. I literally skipped sleeping one day, and I just grew several muscles. I now have triceps.
Exactly. It's about
Before I was just now, I am closer to human.
Exactly.
I am the Rock.
I'm sure that's just a secret.
Anyway, yeah. So what's it all about?
What
Is
is
the name
it
of the
all about?
podcast?
Exactly.
It took
Yeah,
a while to get
because
to that name.
the entire idea of this podcast is we're three people who we talk a lot, and we didn't
A
really
lot.
want to restrict this to one thing. Like Booflah and I really like motorsport, but we didn't want to restrict it to motorsport. We all
'Cause I know
really
nothing
like
about motorsport.
exactly. We all really like video games, but we don't want to sound like loser nerds.
We are gamers.
That is true. We're big
I
old
hate
gamers.
the word gamers so much, and I don't know why. It
We're
just sounds
gamers,
so
bro.
annoying.
We're
No,
pro
I hate
gamers.
You're
it
naughty
so
gamer.
much.
No. You. I can't do it. I can't do it again. My voice isn't ready for that. Coffee part.
Yeah. So we were like, oh, well, we'll keep this open. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff that we want to talk about, just to kind of keep it open-ended.
Looking at the list of possible
This entire
topics.
thing stemmed from us just talking about random stuff and saying, "Hey, that would make a great podcast." So we wanted to
Why
have
is
a
it back?
podcast where we can just talk about whatever we wanted to.
So we'll see
Why
how
is the
successful
back of
that
I could
is.
Scroll through Twitter.
Because
Because
Twitter's
controversy.
always got it's got controversy and
I guess you
content,
can't
man.
run. You can't run out of content there, can you? Just
No, you
ask
cannot.
reaction channels.
Bro, there are like so many channels on YouTube which just look at this and how dumb they are and laugh.
Exactly.
We're just doing that
This is
without
just-
the visual medium.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just have to read it out, which helps, which actually contributes to the humor, I think.
Yeah, hopefully it does. Hopefully we're actually funny. We'll
That's
see how that
something we
goes.
haven't considered. What if we're actually just not funny? What if we like listen back to
So-
this and we're like,
This is just an hour and a half of people pitying us.
See, that's the thing. We aren't funny. We just think we're funny enough to make a podcast.
Like
doesn't
everyone
everyone?
who's ever made a podcast.
Yes,
no one makes a podcast
except we
thinking, I
don't have
can't
any sort of background of popularity at all. We
Exactly.
are literally three guys who just made a podcast.
I mean, a
I
lot
have
of
like
celebrities
social
will just
standing.
make a podcast as their. You have social standing. You
Hey,
have.
I'm
With
known across
whom?
a couple of schools know me, man. I have a job, remember, that kind of intertwines me within other places.
You also have lots of failed relationships that spreads your name around as well.
Exactly.
You were just not gonna let him forget.
He keeps holding the job over me.
That's
I
very
volunteered at a
true.
homeless shelter. What
He
do you
holds
do?
the job. I hold the emotional baggage.
Exactly. It's
Even though I've
50-50,
also
man.
had past relationships, we're gonna ignore that.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
true.
Nerds. I've never.
How are we
It was just
nerds?
and
Nerds
all
who've had
three-
relationships.
We've got all three ranges of many failed, like a couple failed, and then none.
Exactly. And Craig,
can't
obviously.
fail if you don't try.
Craig
Exactly.
is a separate being.
Yeah, exactly. And getting back to struggles of making a podcast, because we just encountered another one today. We were going to use another one of my Discord profiles to record this, but of course there's a heap of problems with that, because why wouldn't there be? So we've just spent about 20 minutes trying to figure out, hey, how the fuck are we going to do this? Eventually we settled on the absolute legend himself, Craig. But I've got like 3 or 4 likely malwares from all of the video recorders I've installed. I found out about GameBar, which doesn't record Booflah and Guy, so that doesn't help at all. Otherwise, it'd just be a monologue, basically, of a podcast.
I mean,
That
those
would
are
be
a thing, but like,
yeah.
just one
They're also
guy
called
talking.
audiobooks.
Yeah, but see, they do it in a podcast format, just without anyone else.
Exactly.
We need to like bump up the quality of this so that English teachers down the line will like analyze these things and hidden meanings.
So what
Yes.
did they mean by Craig is a being from another dimension?
The hyperbole
Craig
in.
Craig represents the working class.
The stage direction.
So how is
Oh,
critique-
what the
Fucking capital.
How
Yeah,
does this
like-
critique parents forcing broccoli onto their kids?
20 years from now, there's going to be some poor Year 12 students starting out English, and instead of the human experience on the Crucible, it's just going to be the human experience on our fucking podcast. And it's just going to, oh, those poor kids, man.
That's how you know
Hey,
you've
at
made
least
it
they
in
don't have
life,
to
when
read.
kids are forced to learn about you.
Exactly. At least they don't have to read the Crucible, though. So, you know, we're basically saving them. It's okay.
Giles carried the Crucible, and he was only there for like.
Just carried that rock.
Exactly.
I'm gonna come to your house. Actually, I have a better idea.
You
There's a
don't know
person
that.
which is. No, I don't actually know. You're like the one friend I don't know. Actually, I don't know where anyone lives. I just ask them like beforehand whenever it's like a party or anything.
Yeah, I've just got you like in my contacts because you know that's a feature of devices.
I have everyone's
on my
contacts
texty
set
phone.
twice on my phone, and I don't know why. But when I go to contacts, it's just everyone twice.
Nice.
To the pod.
Well, there's
What are issues that we had?
Let's see what issues we had.
Struggled naming.
Issues starting it, getting conversation topics. We just had like random conversations and said, "All right, add that to the doc." Literally yesterday, I just texted saying, "But guys, I'm just doing Duolingo right now. Shut the fuck up." And it's just one of the questions saying, like, what just happened just then? And it's what does it say? I can't
it's
find
some
it
dumb
anymore.
shit. Here it is.
Oh, here it is. It
What?
says like,
Whoa! What just happened? Oh, do you want to read it?
"Whoa, what just happened? B and Daniel's
Speaking
dogs played
Spanish.
soccer." I can't say it in Spanish, but like that was just the lesson was read the story out, and it was just 2 people on a date. But like, turns out plot twist. Oh my, they got like met the wrong people for their blind date. But then at the end, since they secretly love each other, they pretend that they are whoever they were meant to meet. But the real answer was that their dogs played soccer.
As you do.
I love
Interesting.
Stop doing it.
Very interesting.
I stopped learning Spanish.
Yeah. Look, this podcast has had a lot of problems getting put up. We
everything in
really
life.
lacked motivation, and we're really hoping that we can actually just like want to do this more.
Make sure you
Because
check
we
out our
think we're
Patreon.
funny.
I mean, I've always wanted to do it. I've just had to get you guys actually
I've
wanting
wanted
to do it.
I've wanted to do it too, but I was like, I'm just gonna not talk because I am dumb.
Amen.
For every time we make the joke, I'm like, yeah, we should do that soon. You're like, yeah.
Like
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it was pretty much that. We're very lacking in motivation, but now that we've got it started, we'll feel pressure to keep going.
And speak for
Yay!
yourself. I was always motivated.
Pressure
I'm
is
gonna
the
be
best
just
motivation.
yeah, we're just gonna be like 25 years old and we're just filming episode 862. Welcome back. We're here. There's like 3 viewers.
Bold of you to assume we're going to get any listeners.
That is very true.
All you to assume this will leave like this Discord channel.
It could not. It could just like
What happens?
never
if
get
Discord's
edited,
Discord?
never get uploaded.
That would be rather interesting, I must say.
I
That
would
would
like
be,
to.
and it would make a great story for.
Yes, exactly.
I would like to just see like comments of this, and people go like, "Bro, this is literally me at 3 a.m. or whatever." You know, we find more people like us that just don't have an outlet, but they're funny.
Exactly. And then we'll bring them onto the podcast, and then
Yes,
it'll just be chaos.
They're like,
Great.
so, first question, why the fuck did you listen to an hour of this? Is everything okay at home?
You're
mean-
okay.
We're planning to bring on some of our mates for the podcast.
Yeah, that's true. We're gonna bring Taco in, and Taco has one hell of a thought process, man.
Taco will just run this.
99.9% of
interview him.
buildings have interiors, guys.
Yeah, no, and
He'll
he can
interview
walk.
us. He will interview us on our own podcast. Like, how make you
Yes.
feel?
That would be.
Exactly.
So why did you start the podcast? Well, if you go back to episode 1,
He's like, I know, I edited that godforsaken thing.
why
Like,
did you make me?
I hate all of
guys
you.
You guys just kept saying slurs, and I had to keep editing it out so much. Kept waging war on third world countries.
Neo just kept saying guy's name. Far out.
Neo really just kept.
I mean, we've had
Guy did not say any
like,
names.
what,
Guy
the
said,
inst-
No,
Okay.
Guy,
Instances.
you said Boofla's name. I don't think anyone said my name. It's because it's such a shit name.
no, because Neo is just very easy to say.
Yeah, Neo's
It's
a
like-
really easy
so is
name.
Guy.
That's
I hate
very
it.
true.
Yeah, Neo. But like Boofla, which I can say now,
It's
caught
2
me
syllables, man.
It caught me slightly off guard, but I feel like after this episode I should get into it. But then I might start accidentally calling you that in real life, and that's going to be even worse.
Just call him B. B will do.
Yeah, B's just, we'll know who it's referring to.
There's
Exactly.
B.
There's a P. That's me.
Oh yeah, you're afraid of bees, aren't you? Let's talk about that.
We'll
Let's talk
save
about
that,
fear.
man. Let's
Do
talk
we really,
about
do we
New
really want to
conversation
go
topic
into
on the
other
list,
topics on the
fear.
first one?
Yeah.
I'm
The
adding it
first
to the list.
episode is the first episode is just like, hey, this is who we are. Here's what the podcast is about. Let's have an existential crisis.
Like next
Hold on,
episode,
I just
what's
wanna,
your
like-
greatest fear?
I just said my own name.
You
I
did
just
say your
wanna
own name.
go- I just want to do the ideas section of this Discord and just read through some of these, just so you get like a
Just
little
a
glimpse of what's in the
slight
future.
sneak peek.
A little tease. Yeah.
So we got train drivers, Transcendent
Oh my-
600 cell, Fortnite links all, motorbikes are dangerous, all Pokemon versus a billion lions. I'm very
Well,
excited
why-
for that one.
Oh no.
The Imperial system versus the metric system,
Oh my god.
ant families, and facial hair mullets.
No, let's
Yeah,
not
pretty
forget.
much.
I'd like to take yourself to this one as well. What we do if we won the lottery, taking over Liechtenstein.
Oh,
I
No,
feel like that
that's
could be
one.
an interesting one.
that's
That
my thing. You guys need to come up with something for what you would do if you won the lottery. I'm the one taking over Liechtenstein. All
I feel
right.
like that one could be an episode on its own. Like no other ideas need to be mentioned
Oh,
because
That would be like
absolutely,
a
that is-
collaborative thing. I feel like we could together take Liechtenstein.
well, in that
Listen, you
case,
can rent Liechtenstein, man. I don't need you.
You need
Well,
help with leadership.
we could put the
Nah,
episode
I got this.
into like what each individual person would do, and then our group plan if we all simultaneously win the lottery.
It's fine, guys. I just take over Liechtenstein and then make a Discord server.
I feel like I haven't thought about it much. It would just be boring, like to stand stuff, buy a nice car, or all that stuff. But that's
Yeah.
a topic for another day.
Yes, let's not get into it because it'll be really fun.
No spoilers.
Yes, exactly. There's not really much else that we want to talk about,
We
is
could
there?
start and just like say, hey, do you think this actually flows well? Is the conversation good? Is it funny?
Be honest,
Is
but
this
not honest enough to
actually
hurt our
good?
feelings.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Warning,
Honest,
I don't
but
take
don't be
constructive
honest.
criticism. Be honest, but
Exactly.
be nice.
Yes,
We went through the
that's entirely
difficulties.
true.
We've introduced ourselves and also our bloody names. We've introduced ourselves and what we contributed to the podcast. And I think there's one difficulty we haven't really acknowledged, and it's the fact of just actually being in a podcast. Like, of course, we just
Yeah,
had regular conversations before, but like there was just this slight pressure in this one, just
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
there's like a
you know
pressure to try and keep up the conversation all the way through.
it's
So
purely
we've done
because
that.
it's being recorded.
yeah, we're not bad. We've gotten further than most people have, so there we go.
That's a good point. And the thing is, it's because we're being recorded. I learned a lesson recently because my little sister was watching a recording of her performance, and obviously she was cringing because I realized something. You're constantly becoming less cringe. So every time you look back on yourself
That
recording,
is just,
you will cringe at it.
I think that's growing as a person.
There's maturing, yeah.
You're constantly
It's just
maturing.
called
And
getting better at
the fact
things.
that
I'm not
you
gonna sit there and look at a video of myself when I was 6 and be like, "That guy is awesome." Oh,
well,
this
I've really
podcast
fallen
episode.
off since then.
I've really
I peaked at
peaked.
6 years old.
I've peaked at 6, man. Damn.
Like the primary school play.
It's like if we continue doing this podcast and we're like, even just like 5 episodes down the line, we look back at this one, we're like, oh wow, not great. That means we've like if we say
Exactly.
what we're
We're
making
just-
then is better, then we've just improved. It's
Exactly.
less cringy.
We're just
it's
better.
whatever.
We'll
Yeah,
just
well-
naturally be not as awful.
And Craig
Yeah,
also not
crazy
be as
thing.
old.
Experience helps you be better at things.
We need more
Experience helps you gain experience, guys.
Experience is an experience.
Exactly.
Welcome to the
Experience.
podcast. Experience.
It isn't it?
I'm experiencing experience
Far
right now, guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, we've done pretty well for a first episode, I think. Like, there's not much else we want to discuss. We basically wanted to get this started, see how
We've got our
not shit we might be. You know,
contribute.
we're
That's
doing not
another
bad.
thing. We've all contributed. Of course, Neo's taken like charge here because this was his like episode because he does the intro for this one. And
Yeah.
So even though you have like helped lead the conversation, we've all like contributed to it.
Yeah,
We've all
exactly.
had our moments need to be insightful, and except
But
Craig still
funny,
hasn't gone on
funny.
his monologue yet.
Yes,
So
of
wait,
course.
so wait for him.
Yeah, you know, Craig isn't really contributing. I feel like he's kind of bringing this whole thing down.
Yeah, maybe we need to go get our other friend in. He can help out.
Just listening. We need to bring the Watcher back, honestly.
We need the Watcher.
You know, the Watcher, he was
He
just
made
his
it a
quest
bit-
so much more personality.
His aura really just brought up the conversation, I must say. He really helped with Cowboy Bebop. What can I say?
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
look, we've
Talk
we've
about
covered the
Cowboy
main
Bebop.
conversation. We've discussed who we are. We've discussed the problems of making a podcast. Look, I think we've done pretty well for a first podcast. You know, yeah, like we've not done that bad.
Because
Honestly, I'm pretty happy with it.
is in the podcast about something like that. Like, look at this list. There was so much but cancel culture. All right, we might want to skip that one.
Yeah, I
we have
think
so much
we're
risk.
going to skip that one.
Cancel culture could lead to some
Cancelled?
problems.
Guys, you think we could
My
try?
God.
Oh yeah, we
cancelled?
could be cancelled.
I've always wanted to try.
I've really wanted to. Yeah,
All
I
right,
would
look,
love to just have the shackles taken off.
maybe use one if we can.
I can go
I-
down the path
Yeah,
of
we'll
Just
see.
continue.
Jay Schlack.
We'll just be cancelled and keep going anyway.
Yeah, but see, that's the funny. I don't think if you can, you should.
Yeah, true.
Okay,
That.
Who cares?
we won't try and get cancelled, but it would be very funny if we did. Like if we just
Do we
mentioned
want to
would
try and
be
get
during one of
so
cancelled
these.
by like? Do we want to try and get cancelled by like dream stands or something?
Oh
Just
my
something that is
God.
completely irrelevant.
You just like get cancelled by the most boring ass thing.
It needs to be
God,
something
just like
better.
anime
No.
Twitter. just comes after us because I say that not Gojo, what's his name? Goku doesn't solo.
Ugh. What if we try to get cancelled by
Look, all I'm saying is
Or is
Superman
that
would be good.
All right, guys, we're gonna end the podcast. That's gonna be it.
Yeah.
Censorship.
You know, I
Well,
really
it failed.
gotta ask you guys something.
Okay.
You know what this would make?